Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chair Yoga. This week, we're going to continue on our study of and really trying to cultivate an appreciation for daily practice. So let's begin with the movement or getting in our posture to do so. So I'm going to move myself back so you can see me from there. And let's use our block on the floor between the ankles. Come forward on your chair so you're relying on your core strength rather than the chair's backrest to support you. And bring your body into the framework of the chair, that you really literally feel yourself coming into this space that is defined by the chair. And even more so by putting your ankles onto that block, you've brought yourself into this almost narrower space that aligns with that midline, that central channel is kind of the typical yoga language, that we're aligning ourselves with the central channel, the Sushumna channel of our energy body. So let's turn our palms up on our lap and begin to sit up tall and feel our body start to align itself. We've done this often enough that we know what we're talking about, that when we sit down, put our feet to the ground with our knees kind of aligned over the ankles. So we've created more or less a right angle with our legs. And we're squeezing into the block, and we start to feel our body just going right into this alignment. It's like we've just given it the green light. Go ahead, settle in, sit up straight, find this more mindful posture. And try to find this balance between ease and effort, so that you're not just super engaged, kind of really trying to squeeze every muscle you can, because that sounds like or seems like the stronger way to do it. See if you can instead keep reminding yourself that there is this balance between ease and effort. As we close the eyes, turn your palms up, I want you to just find your way into your body by way of your breath. And this is a daily practice today and this week, these two classes this week, I'm going to focus on using daily practice for a vital, healthy body, an alert and focused mind, a loving and compassionate heart, and lightness of being. You might remember those 4 points as being the primary intentions that Deepak Chopra has outlined for yoga practitioners. And this daily practice is to cultivate those very things. So for the body, our vibrant and healthy body, today's practice is going to really be longer held poses, more mindfully arrived into the poses. So even though it might be a very familiar, common thing that we do, I'm hopeful that I can break it down for you and that you'll stay with it in terms of your own personal discipline, to feel it as though you've never done it before. Come at it with a beginner's mind. Take that whiteboard of your mind and kind of wipe it all off now for today, and just see what you can find with this beginner's mind experience of each and every posture we move into. For the mind, I'm going to, of course, reminding you to breathe and finding various breathing techniques that might be helpful, but I want to just introduce the possibility that you will use on your own accord without my encouragement, and because I could forget, to create that O shape with your mouth and breathe in through that O shape and exhaling gently away. That is the one that really improves your vagal tone. So just reminding that you can use that at any time, slip it in whenever you want to, creating an O shape with your mouth, breathing in through the mouth on that particular breath practice, and then exhaling it out as almost a sigh. Anytime that feels appropriate, I would like you to do that. And that is by way of the mind. The breath practices really are the tool that we use to create an alert and focused mind. The heart, we're going to allow feelings to arise. So as we do various things and we get into maybe some deeper experiences of the postures, that you're opening up your body in a way that you hadn't done before, that sometimes feelings or emotions arise. and that we will allow that, knowing it will pass on through, and that it's part of our human experience to feel. Open our body, open our heart. Loving and compassionate heart results. And finally, the being, that lightness of being, so a calm abiding. That's a phrase I love from yoga, calm abiding. It's a way to just be in the pose as you find yourself, where you can't really, you're thinking, well, it's not exactly what she's asking to do, or I can see that there's a deeper way to do this, or a more challenging way to do this, but it's not accessible to me today. That you can bring yourself into your yoga and be in calm abiding where you find yourself. It can be woven into everything. You'll take it off this chair and off of this hour of time together. You start realizing this idea of calm abiding, and it shows up in your life in a beautiful, beautiful way. So let's stay with our breath. Eyes are closed, palms are open, and we set our own particular intention for class today, what it is you need from yoga. And then we're going to draw an inhale through the nose and exhale it out of the mouth like a sigh. Just to kind of say, and there it is. Let that be so. Inhale with me as we bring palms together up and overhead. Those palms gently touch, lifting by pushing your feet into the ground, so your legs are very engaged, and it feels like you're lifting your hips up and away from the chair, all the way into the rib cage. You feel a lift, a lengthen, and a strengthen. Feel strong. As you breathe all the way through this, I want you to start your breath from the soles of your feet and make your way all the way into the body till you've landed into your hands. Take that exhale back through the very same pathway you came into it. Do one more breath cycle just like that. It's a full body experience of your breath, a strengthening breath. Next time you're ready to exhale, let's bring palms together at the heart, and in it, exhale completely, bowing into ourselves, that Namo. Inhale back up, exhale, go wide. And I want you to do a few of those circular arm stretches where you're feeling your shoulder blades move. You can feel, oh yeah, that sticky back body, those shoulder blades that are stuck are starting to loosen up. Go as far back as you can. So when you're bringing your arms up, your hands up, you're coming behind your head as much as you are able to do. And you're into the experience of this in the shoulder blades. And then we're going to release into that T with our arms extended, palms up. Stretch your hands open. Be sure to point your thumbs back. Lift up again, engage your legs so you can feel yourself just super engaged through the whole base of this posture, the legs, the hips, the feet, and it allows you to lift your chest cavity and expand. Now settle into the calm abiding of a full breath in and a full breath out. And your legs are super active. They're not resting. Turning the palms forward, we're going to change into that diagonal reach simply as a way to stretch our neck. So I want you to look up and move around up there, and you let your shoulder blades slide down. This is the drishti. You focus as you look up, you're turning your head. You're aware of now this opening available for neck muscles. You're trying to see where you're at this morning in terms of range of movement. No judgment. We need information here. So take your time. Once you feel like you've spent enough time and it feels better, looser, you're more aware of what's going on, drag your chin down through your chest and go to the other side looking down. Same deal. Looking around feels different on this side for me. Spend the time you need. Be creative. As long as you're mindfully moving, there's no wrong way to do it. Pay attention to the sensation as you lift that arm up. So we're still looking on this side of the body, but we've changed from down to up in our extension of the arms and in our drishti. Again, a little bit of movement here. Drag your chin down through your chest to change the direction as you look down at the hand that's reaching to the floor. Full breath in and out. Now feel the block between your feet. So you've got awareness in your whole body. Bring your gaze back to center. Open up the arms wide. Pull them back, pull them back, pull them back. The shoulder blades are squeezing toward that midline. Pull them back. And then round your back body. Pull the belly in. Let your head drop down. And let's go from open to close here, just opening and closing, and feel that throughout the back body. Pay attention to how your neck is feeling, everything really. Focus is trying to warm up the spine with this cat-cow movement. And let's close it on down and reach forward, forward, forward. You're pulling your shoulders way over your knees now so that you can lay your armpits onto your kneecaps. So let's slide the block underneath the chair. Open our feet a little wider. Make sure your ankles align up with your knees and let your head drape down and look underneath yourself. Keep your bottom on the chair. So if that starts to lift up, you're going to kind of bring some mindfulness to that, some awareness to let those sit bones find the seat of the chair again. Get back to kind of pressing into that. Soften your face. Let your neck benefit from this because the weight of your head now has been surrendered. Your neck doesn't have to do any work. Breathe deeply. Big belly breaths, benefiting the digestive system. Every time, whether we are mindful of it or not, every time we're going to benefit from that. Let's jump our hands to the thighs and squeeze the elbows in, and we're in that halfway position. I want you, though, if you can hold your hands on your thighs if that's a better option for you. But if you're able to, extend your arms out and see if you can lift your arms so they glide past your ears. I've just got hands open, palms are facing the floor. And I'm just about ready. I feel like I'm just about ready to lift up. Feel the strength of your legs. See if you can lean forward, 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 as far forward as you can, yet you're not going to fold all the way down. See if you can lay yourself down onto your thighs, but you're held midway. You're not looking down and underneath yourself. Instead, you're at that midway point. I'm going to shift to a side angle for anybody who's not real clear on what I'm suggesting. Let's bring the left hand to the floor and bring your right hand behind you. That might be different from the way you're looking at it, but just bring left hand to the floor, right hand behind you. Might be different, so don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Don't let that foul you up. So that you're rotating that top shoulder back and back, a single shoulder roll while your left hand is down on the ground, or maybe at this juncture, you're going to get your block out from under, so that's a better access to the floor for you. If you had a block there, it would be better, more easily accessible. And then we're just going to land here with our hand on the sacrum. One hand is on the floor, that back hand is on the sacrum, and we roll that shoulder back to its very, as far back as we are able to get it. Now squeeze your thighs toward the midline. They might want to splay apart. Draw your thighs toward each other. They're not going to touch. It's the energy of it. It's the muscular action that you're looking for. toward the midline. Full breath in and out. Can that arm lift? Can you let that back arm lift straight up? Full breath in and out. Now, how about the drishti? Can you look down at the hand on the floor? That's pretty easy for me, but looking up toward the ceiling, that's not so accessible, at least not for me. So I'm just exploring that, drawing knees in toward the midline, full breath in and out. We're going to disentangle from that. So that top arm is coming back to your thigh. Both hands now can be back on the thighs. You're halfway up. Elbows are squeezing in toward the waistline, and we're coming all the way up, back to now a neutral position. Let's come into mountain pose. Palms are facing forward. Now, if you want to grab your block because it's just been a real good source of grounding for you to have that between your ankles, put it back in there. You can always use your block in any way that you like to. You know, if you found it to be useful in various ways that I don't ever seem to bring up, or I don't always, just use it the way it suits you. Fullness of breath. This would be a good place to shape your mouth. Let's get that vagal tone breath in place. If you really want to enhance that pose, as you draw in through your mouth, you're also lifting up through the perineum. So you're feeling that mula bandha lifting up and engaging that as you're drawing that inhale through the mouth, and then just softly release it all. One more time. Inhale up, palms come together. Exhale, heart. Inhale up. Exhale, reach. Get yourself laid down. Separate your feet a little bit. We got to do the other side. So I want the right hand or the other hand to be on the floor. And you're going to start rotating back the top shoulder, individual shoulder rolls here. And you might need to turn your head from time to time because your neck also needs a gentler approach, some practicing or patterning of the body for your neck as well. And then let's just lay that hand on the sacrum. So now we've rotated our shoulder back, and we're in this twist, and we're drawing our thighs toward the midline. And you could hold it right here, or you could extend that back arm so it's straight up in the air. So your arms are more or less straight up and down from each other. And you're going to work now on your drishti, where and how to turn your head so it gives you the sensation you're looking for. It feels powerful. It feels purposeful. Let's exhale completely and do that one more time for a full breath. In and out. And we'll disentangle from that by bringing hands back to the thighs. We're halfway up. Our elbows are squeezing in toward the side body. And we spread our arms away from us like wings. Press your feet into the ground so your legs feel super active. And then lift yourself all the way up. Palms come together. Inhale with me here. Exhale, heart. Inhale up. And exhale all the way around. Let's cross that leg over into our figure 4 position. So make sure your standing leg is well positioned. You don't have your heel too far under the chair or anything like that. And that you've got your figure 4 position. Yeah, we're going to pattern that too. So I want you to try it again by bringing that back up and then back to the floor. So take your time. I'm going to suggest we all hold the back of our chair in some way. Get a hold of it. So as you're moving your leg up and down into that cross-legged position, you're going to give yourself a little bit more security, a little bit more support with your hands onto the chair. We're going to meet with that cross-legged position. I'm going to kind of rearrange for myself, and I want you to try this. I'm going to turn to the side. I don't want you to at all. I want you to see what I'm saying. So I'm holding on to the back of the chair. I'm leaning back and lifting the chest up. So I'm doing like the cow pose. Chest is lifting, head is tilting back, and I'm trying to drop the knee. So this is not much movement in this body of mine. There's not this gross movement that's happening, but I'm trying to stretch through that leg down. As the chest lifts up and you do a back bend of sorts, letting that knee drop or pull away from you. Full breath in and out. Now come into more of a neutral place, almost a rounded back, and then go back into it. So we're just going to take our time moving in and out of this back bend, this lift of the chest cavity, and then we neutralize it. Make sure we're taking good care of our head and neck. Find your breath rhythm that's giving you some empowerment here. Chest, 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 expansion, lift. And back into neutral. Now let's bring our body upright now, so we don't have our hands behind us now, and instead they drape in front across the shin. And now we're going to fold forward and back up. So forward, letting the body's weight pull into this stretch of the hip. Now the forward and back movement is a suggestion. It's optional though. What if your body is saying, I'm kind of into this today, my hip is really kind of ready, I'm going to hang out in that forward movement. So choose, maybe a little bit of both. Work with it in your own body with your own breath as your guide. Breathe into the sensation in your body where you're experiencing this most. That's what your body's asking for, is your awareness and your breath to go into that area where your body is speaking to you. Excellent. Let's come back up to our neutral position, get both feet on the floor. Any reset that your body needs, this would be a good time to do that. And then we're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to suggest again, you hold on to the back of the chair and you pattern that other leg to come up and cross. So you're coming into that figure four, seeing if you can get that thigh bone to move, that you're directing it. Your mind-body connection is into your body differently than what you usually function with day to day. You're trying to get that thigh bone to drop down any amount. Even if it doesn't seem significant, it's not worth the bother. I want you to stay with it, any amount. Let's hold it now. Let's get it up there and hold it. Maybe place it where you want it to be. Holding on to the back of the chair, let's find that back bend again. So you're going to let yourself lean back into your hands a bit, letting your chest rise up, letting your head gently come back, breathing in and breathing out, arching the back body, letting your knee now and the thigh bone drop down toward the ground in that direction. It's like you're trying to pull your thigh away from your waist. And then we'll release and neutralize that, and we're going to work on that. So you're going to do it and do it again. You'll release into a neutral position. Maybe you do some reset of the body, but then you come back and you revisit this back bend. And you really engage your thigh bone to pull down and away. Finding your breath now to fuel everything that you're doing. Shoulder blades squeezing in toward the midline. Lift the chest, expand between the ribs, any amount. Let's come into a neutral position. So start making your way so your hands are no longer in the back of you, and you're bringing now both arms across your shin. Nice upright spine. Let's begin the forward and back movement on this side, letting your body weight come forward. So just that pulsing action is perfectly fine, and it's a great way to get some hip opening into this side of the body, or you can hold it. Let your body weight just work with your breath as you open up that hip. It's your practice, so pay attention to your body and what seems to work best for you. Be creative. This is this calm abiding. We're just learning. We're finding out what our body needs best. We have this clean slate today, a beginner's mind, as though we've never approached our body like this before. Let's finish this one up, coming back to your upright position. And we'll get that foot back to the floor, and we're back now to a mountain position. So feet are hips distance apart, palms are facing forward. You're feeling the strength and stability of the mountain. Now, let's move to the side of the chair. So you're going to start moving your body way over to the edge so that you can step out and bring that back in. So I'm going to just sort of mirror this for you so that your right leg is staying still and you're stepping left side out and back in. So just see if you can stabilize yourself. So that movement is pretty easy, patterning this body. I found as I was doing some warm-up work before we got started here today, that my hip was happier and much more receptive to the kind of thing I was going to try if I did this patterning, if I kind of worked my way into it instead of just stuck my foot over there and said, let's go for that. You know, it didn't cooperate. It wasn't very happy with it. So let's try patterning. And then we'll step it out there. So we've got this right angle, but we're squarely faced forward. I'm very far to the edge of the chair, but yet I've got plenty of support here. And then we're going to get that back arm, you know, start doing our individual shoulder rolls here. So getting your right arm to pull back and down, moving the shoulder blade, using your arm to move the shoulder blade. And then we're going to position it back there. And then I want you to lean into the forearm on your left arm here. So you're just leaning into, letting that forearm rest on your thigh, creating just sort of an angle here with your body. But we're going to deepen this as well. I want you to just see if you can slide down. I've got my hand just sitting back here. It's not pressing anywhere. It's just setting back here. So you figure out what works better for you. Maybe there's a particular way you can hold your chair. But I want you to just glide your arm down and back as we again pattern the body into more of a bend. We're trying to bend way down deep. Again, if you like to have your block available to touch the floor, meaning you can't always reach the floor, but you could reach the block, this would be the time you would put that block right there to help you with that, okay? So a couple more of this patterning, and then we're going to hold it. See if you can stay as low as you got, as low as you got. And then this is going to look familiar. And then we're lifting up. Our legs are in this right angle toward of each other. And the knees are also in a right angle with the legs. Find your drishti. Open up your chest. I want you to pull that top arm back, back. Keep going back until you've reached your stop sign here. So you've really opened into a bit of a back bend here. Let's find the breath. Now, I want you to bring even more awareness into your hips. So that right side of your hip is probably lifting up just a bit. I want you to plant that down. Try to stretch your hips and buttocks down into the seat of the chair, any amount. Feel the strength of that. Feel the power you've just, introduced into your body. Find that breath, relax your neck. And then let's disentangle, get the arms back to a neutral position. Let's make our way up. We're going to stay with this posture in our legs, so keep them just as they are. Inhaling both hands up. And pull. Use your left hand to grab hold of your wrist, and then pull your body over. to center. One more time, take a big inhale here, lift up. Exhale, folding a little bit, stretching over. Pay attention to your neck. All the way up, and take a big backstroke to come out of that. Maybe some shoulder rolls as we start making our way to the other side. So you're going to start scooting yourself to the other side of the chair, creating the right angle. But we're going to start with that patterning. So that you can pull it wide open. This opening, this external rotation in your hip is not a common movement day to day. Make sure the standing leg is well positioned. Make sure that is well positioned so you feel the strength of that. We're going to start with some shoulder rolls here. We want to get that shoulder blade to loosen up. See if you can now lay your hand behind you in some way. I'm starting with my elbow on my thigh, but then I'm going to, once I start positioning that, I'm going to start practicing a deeper fold. I want to get deeper with that. Now you could say, I was stretched to the max right here. I'm going to stay there. This is it for me. That's where you'll be. That's where you'll be. Again, the block could be useful here. Let's fold and hold. So we're in our deepest level. Make sure the standing leg didn't collapse. I can tell you that because mine just did. And then we're raising up here. So find your drishti. Find your breath. Now get into the pelvis. Get the left side of the pelvis, that side of the butt cheek, to push back down into the chair seat so it's not floating, but it's grounded. Any amount. Don't think this has to be this gross, powerful movement. It's slight, it's subtle, but you're still efforting to ground through there, and your body is absorbing that and benefiting from that. Full breath in and full breath out. Good. Let's come back up. Keep your legs as they are. Arms are coming up. You're going to grab hold of your wrist and pull that arm over your head toward that bent knee to the side. And try it again. Didn't like the way that was set up, and see if you can square your shoulders toward the front. Try it again if you need to. And back up. Take a big backstroke to come out of it. And let's come back to center. Let's try wide angle. Let's just do a resting pose with circling that Sufi grind, just circling around now. Finding your breath, catching up with your breathing, calming the body with this rocking movement. Let your chest bone feel like that's where the circle is being drawn and created from. It's not your face, your chin, it's your chest bone. Let's change the direction of that circle. If you haven't done it yet, let's do it now. And we'll come back to center. I want you to lift up and lift up. So we're alternating to get those legs up. Let's hold one up. I'm going to get a hold of it with just everything I got. I've wrapped my forearms underneath that thigh, and then I want to straighten it and bend it. Straighten it and bend it. So you're holding your thigh in towards you as much as you can, and yet you're asking the leg to straighten and bend. So get a hold of your thigh, a good firm grip. I just wrap myself around it and lift and bend. Let's hold that straight leg and find a breath here. This is a good time to go back to that O breath. Push through the sole of the foot. You're trying to straighten that leg. You don't want a bent knee as much as you can. You're trying to eliminate the bent knee. Keep your breath moving through the O shape of your mouth as best as you can. Excellent. We're going to hug that knee in, hold it for a moment, come back to neutral, reset the body, let your breath just return to its normal rhythm of movement. Let's go back to lifting alternate sides. But then we're going to get hold of that other leg now, wrap around it, pull that thigh in towards you and straighten the leg out. If you want to go back to the O breath, that would be great here. Or we're going to wait till we hold it anytime. Let's just remember we're going to try to introduce that as a way to improve our vagal tone. Your body will benefit from that. Your whole body will benefit from such a thing. Let's hold the straight leg. Push through the heel. Feel a strong spine lifting up. Your standing leg is not nothing, right? You got to have some real ground, a source of ground with that foot that's on the floor to enable you to lift up that straight leg. Full breath in and out. Hug that knee into the chest. Let's return both feet to the floor. And let's circle around. Just let your body unwind from that with this gentle rocking of the Sufi grind. Now you keep it up, change the direction when you're ready. I'm turning to the side. You don't need to do that. I want you to see me from the side. Let's come back to our neutral position, including bringing our legs back to center, back toward hips distance apart. Let's extend the arms away from us and just come on up. I want you to do that a few times where you reach out and come on up. Now, if you're already done, you know your strength and capabilities today, then wait for me standing up. If you're kind of enjoying this and really liking the movement and the strength of the body today, stay with me. Come forward and hold into the chair squat. Arms are stretching out. It serves as a sort of balance. Hips and buttocks are pulling back. Arms are reaching forward. Let's lift all the way up to standing and find our mountain. So we're just making sure our feet are hips distance apart. They're parallel to one another. Arms are up. Full breath in and out. Just breathing with arms in the air is a little bit of work, isn't it? I'm going to move my chair. I want you to stay with your arms up. You don't need to move your chair. Inhale with me as we bring palms together up there. Look up if you can. Exhale, bow into yourself as you come down to your heart, inhaling up. And exhale, go wide. I want you to interlace your hands behind your back. So fingers are interlaced. You're pulling your knuckles away from your back body, feeling the arch of that back body. I want you to get a bend in the knee, lots of bend, and fold forward if you can to look down and underneath yourself. Interlaced hands are reaching up toward the ceiling. Your head, the crown of your head is reaching down toward the floor. And you're in a forward fold, so your upper body is folding in toward your legs. Full breath comes in, full breath goes out. Let's release the hands so our arms are just ragdolling down. Jump your hands to the very top of your thighs, right by the crease, and lift yourself up halfway so that you're in sort of an L shape. Hold that with your hands as a bracket, or you could extend your hands away from the body and use the strength of your legs and core instead of the bracket of your arms. Let's come all the way up to standing and find our mountain. Once again, palms face forward, feet are in a parallel position. We breathe in and we breathe out. Let's turn toward the back of the chair and stretch it out into that L shape. Now we'll have the chair to help with that as we extend back, back, back. Position your feet so they're straight, maybe a little wider stance. Matter of fact, let's open the heels a little bit further than we do when we often do, and that's going to give a little more stretch to that sacroiliac joint. Letting the chest drop toward the floor. You're going to feel some opening in your shoulders and arms. See if you can extend through the back of those knees so there's no bend or as little bend as possible today. Feel the whole surface of your feet connecting to Mother Earth. Let's form our mouth into the shape of the O for at least a few breaths. See if you can pull up through the perineum while you're taking that big inhale through that O-shaped mouth. Soften as you exhale it all the way out and back to engaging the Mula Bandha through that inhale. Good. As we start walking forward, we're going to step our right foot forward, left foot stays back. We're coming into Warrior One. Try to keep both feet down to the ground. Hip headlights are shining straight toward the chair. Spine is long, head is high. Palms come together at the heart. If you're finding this to be a balance challenge today, you'll just keep your one hand on the chair. Inhale up. The right leg, I'm just going to give you this reference point. The right knee is the bent leg, right knee. So that means your right arm is going to stretch around behind you to reach to the thigh behind you. Left arm is reaching up. So the bent knee side, that's the arm that goes back. We're pretty warmed up in our body for twists. We've got our shoulders loose. Good time to introduce this. Let's get both hands onto the chair and keep our warrior position now as we bring ourselves back to center. Palms come together at the heart. I want you to close your eyes here if you're able to and take a few breath cycles just here, calm abiding. Eyes closed if you can. Always, you know, your chair is right there. You could just hold it. You could obviously open your eyes to settle yourself. Calm abiding. Exhale completely. Both hands come to the chair, eyes are open. Now we'll step back and stretch that out. I want you to open your feet wide and bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Move hips side to side, a swaying movement. So those kind of movements, a bend, a straighten, a sway, some combination. We're coming back to center. We're going to lift up that left leg and step it forward. So left knee is bent now, both feet are grounded, hip headlights shining straight ahead. Palms can lift up and overhead, or you could keep one hand on the chair. So left knee is bent, so it's the left arm that's going to reach behind to that back thigh. Full breath in and out. Keep both heels down if you can. Find a drishti. Both hands come back to center. Keeping your legs in the Warrior One position. Let's bring hands to heart. Close the eyes. Calm abiding. Pull the belly in for nice strength and stability of the core. Bending that front knee as much as you're able. Both hands come to the chair. We're going to step back and again stretch it out with bent knees, with a swaying movement. Find your breath. Connect with the rhythm of your breathing. And we're walking ourselves back up toward the chair, where we'll just take a pause here, just facing our chair, the back of our chair, just take a pause. Full breath in and out. Now I'm going to suggest you stay in a position where you've got the chair at this kind of accessibility right in front of you. I'm going to move it so you can see me better, but I want you to have it right in front of you. So please be aware that that's really the better way. So we're stepping that right foot behind us. I want to pattern that as well. So I'll mirror you. So I'm taking my, let's call this the left foot, then pulling back so we look the same. So left foot is pulling back. And then let's land it back there where the heel is lifted and the toe is up. That's what's happening. This is what's happening to my foot. It's way back. And we're going to lift those arms up, grab hold of the wrist. So that back leg, that's the arm that's reaching over top. The back leg, that's the arm that's reaching over top. And I want you to pull as though you're trying to pull back behind you toward that heel of that back foot. Find a drishti that suits you. Where's your neck happy? Where do you feel most stable and steady? By turning your head gently, letting your gaze fall somewhere and finding your breath. Isn't that a beautiful one? Let's come out of that all the way out with the arms, maybe holding the chair so you can get your feet back to where they belong, and we'll shake it out. Let's do a shake. Let's get our body in motion here. Shaking. Let's add the hum. So maybe with the exhale, we're letting that buzz through our lips and we're shaking. And then we'll try the other side again. I want you to have the chair in front of you so you have that stability. Let's pattern by bringing that right foot back, and then we'll come back to neutral and we'll step it back. Remember, the heel stays up. We're just stretching back and keeping a straight leg behind us. We're landing on our toes, the ball monds of the foot. Let's bend into that front leg a bit and then situate. So you feel pretty straight-legged in this. Coming up, it's the same side arm. So the back leg, that's the arm that is stretching up and overhead. I got a hand on the wrist, pulling up and back. Find your drishti now. Find the fullness of your breath. Remember, if we haven't exhaled completely, our body was not able to come into the pose. It was not able to benefit from this. But if we can come back to the rhythm of our breath, you can believe your body is going to feel the benefits, the freedom, the joy of this extension. Exhale completely. And then let's come up, get our hands back to the chair, get our feet back to neutral, and we're going to shake it out again. Find the buzz in your lips. Now make sure you've got enough room between you and the chair that you're not going to slap yourself with the chair. I want you to open into a wider stance and just crisscross your arms and give yourself a pat. So your hands are really making contact with your shoulders, your back. So crisscross, the top arm changes every time you do it, and you're actually patting. There's a soft bend in the knees. Couple more. Let's interlace our hands and stretch palms forward and lift up. Lift up and fold all the way down for those of you who can. If the forward fold all the way to the ground is too much, you could always land on your chair seat. So I'm just offering that as an alternative from an all the way forward fold. Hang down like a rag doll. Let your eyes stay wide open as you look down and underneath yourself. So landing on the chair is a great option. So choose that if that's better for you. We're going to come up halfway. Hold, let your body adjust. Come all the way to standing. We're back to our mountain pose. Let's bring our feet. I had my feet wide, so I want to just see if we've got our feet back to hips distance, so we're in a true mountain stance. Closing the eyes, let's find out. Circle of breath. Let the breath start at the soles of the feet, make its way through the front body, all the way around to the back body on the exhalation. So a couple rounds of circular breath, full body experience of breath, eyes closed if you can. Don't lock your knees. Feel the steadiness of a soft bend. And see if you can let this be a time of calm abiding with this awareness of connecting to the earth, that you're allowing yourself a moment to just really draw from the energy, the earth energy, for your body's benefit. Now, even if you can't define that, even if you think that seems kind of out there, can you trust that there's got to be something about our connection here to nature, to this earth? Because I've felt it many times on a walk, whenever I go outside, take a deep breath, and I feel this connection to the breeze and the sunshine. Let's connect to that now. Beautiful. Let's flutter the eyes open. One last move of the chair. I'm going to have you turn it so that the low side of the chair, the seat of the chair, is available to you to use as a downward dog position. So we're having our hands there, walking back. Open your heels a little wider. Feel the surface of your feet to the ground. Your arms are extended past your ears. Pull back through the hips and buttocks, back toward the wall behind you. And it's like you're anchoring your toes to the ground, and at the same time, you're pulling your hips and buttocks back in the way. So you feel that dynamic tension. Connect to the rhythm of your breath. Stick with your breath now. Keep pulling back into the hips and buttocks, that you don't just rest in it, but you're active in it. Strong, vital body here. Excellent. Let's start walking ourselves back to the chair. Come up slowly. I want you to purposefully round your back body. Let your chin be dropped and down in towards your throat, and start rounding vertebrae by vertebrae. Lifts up, up, up. Finally, the head lifts and we're into our upright position. We're going to just hold it here, catching up with the breath. Let's find our way to our chair now, into a seated posture for Shavasana. So you'll be having a seat and leaning back into the chair. So I want you to scoot your bottom way back. So when you don't have to lean so far back to get your back the support from the backrest. So get your bottom way back and let your legs fall open, or however they feel most comfortable. Palms open on our lap if that's comfortable for you, as we just continue with this mudra of receptivity, open to receive the benefits and the blessings of this daily practice. There's a beautiful chant. I'll bet many of you have heard it before. Om Shanti. Om is the universal word for, or of the universal sound of God, or of the life force energy, or however it is you understand that Om sound to be. It's like, it's just the earth itself. It's the universe itself. It has a tone and it sounds like this, Om. Shanti means peace in the Sanskrit language. It's peace. So it's in a simple way, it's like saying that we're invoking God's peace. So if you're comfortable with your hand position, now bringing your hands to your heart, layering the right hand first and then the left hand on top of that, let's just see if we can come into our own chant of Om Shanti. Maybe you just repeat it a few times. I'm going to do one, and maybe you can hear it. I'm never real clear on how the sound is going to come through, but there is a chant that's quite lovely that I'll add to it, and you can just stay with the words or however you choose to participate. Eyes closed if you're comfortable with that. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Please let your hands be wherever you want them to be, continuing to hold onto the heart space or wherever you're most comfortable as we finish up a few more beautiful minutes here of calm abiding in the peace, God's peace. Feel the softness of your skin on your face and your neck. Relax your shoulders. Relax your upper arms and elbows. Move that relaxation through your forearms and wrists into the palms of both hands and all of your fingers. Feel the softness of your belly as you breathe in and breathe out. Feel the steadiness holding your whole body in this chair. The steadiness of total support for your whole body in this chair. Feel your feet connected to the earth. Feel your whole body breathing. Feel the lightness of being. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth with the sound of ah. Let's come forward so we're no longer leaning into the backrest. Come forward now. Inhale with me as we lift up, palms come together overhead. Exhale, bowing into yourself at your heart. Inhale back up, and exhale, go wide as a way to share this beautiful experience of this energy of yoga all throughout our communities. Palms come together at the heart. We bow to ourself and to one another. Namaste, my friends. If you're joining me on YouTube, please join me regularly and subscribe to my channel.
I'll try. Thank you, Julie.